We move from one presidential candidate who just announced, Chris Christie, to Mike Pence, who also just announced that he's running for president in 2024. He will also not win, but he's less exciting, less interesting, with all the weight possible attached to those two descriptions than Chris Christie is. But it's still notable. Former vice president under Trump, now announcing he's going to be challenging Trump, and he likely will run a very I'm not going to criticize Trump campaign, unlike Chris Christie, but we'll watch his little campaign ad here, his announcement video, and dissect it.
The land of opportunity, beacon of democracy, the shining city on the hill, land of the free, home of the brave, the United States of America. As a son of the heartland, grandson of an Irish immigrant, those aren't just words. My family has lived the American dream. I had the great honor to serve in Congress, as governor, and as your vice president. And I'll always be proud of the progress we made together for a stronger, more prosperous America.
All right, so prepare yourself. Once he jumps into why he's running for president, I'll be stopping a bunch to fact check what he says. So anyone who doesn't like constant pausing, you're not going to like this, but this is what we got to do with any type of video like this one.
But today, our country's in a lot of trouble. President Joe Biden and the radical left have weakened America at home and abroad. The American dream is being crushed under runaway inflation. Wages
So
are
of course, well, let me let him list off a few.
dropping. Recession is looming. Our southern
All right, so let me do those three. Inflation consistently has been coming down. What was the other one that he said? Wages are actually going up right now at a rate, at a level we haven't seen in quite a while, and people have been predicting a recession ever since the recovery began, and we have not seen it, and all of the economic indicators for the most part look like, while far from perfect, we're definitely going in the right direction. I'll once again say, as I've been saying, Biden has led as the United States has experienced an unmatched in how fast it has been economic recovery after the economic crisis that the pandemic caused compared to other developed countries' economies. So we've been doing really good compared to other economies in recovering since Biden's, not necessarily just because, obviously, but within the time frame that Biden has been president, and some of what he has done. I do think the American Rescue Plan being one of them, you can point to and say this had an effect on this remarkable recovery. We're far from perfect, as always, but very notable and remarkable. And when you compare this recovery to other ones in history, it's been very fast, very effective, and I think you should give Biden some credit for that, even though we know that presidents aren't solely responsible for the economy. Continuing.
Our southern border is under siege, and the enemies of freedom are on the march around the world. And worse still, timeless American values are under assault as never before. We're better than this.
Okay, how do I break that down? The border thing, we've talked about the policies between the two administrations, not massively different. They can't point to specifically what massive things Biden has done that would have caused an open border, even though that's obviously not the case. And after Title 42, they were all predicting that we're going to see unbelievable border crossing numbers, and it actually dropped after the repealing of Title 42, or the rolling back of Title 42. And so right now, actually, it's going in the direction they said that things should be going in as far as the border goes. And then obviously Russia's invading Ukraine, but Biden did a really good job on the second thing he said there of supporting Ukraine, as he should be. And again, something I think you could give Biden credit for. I don't see how Pence differs from Biden on that one. And then I guess he had some footage of something to do with trans people, which means America's falling apart. Yeah, okay. So he's just leaning into the same, wokeness is going to destroy the world.
Than this. We can turn this country around, but different times call for different leadership. Today, our party and our country need a leader that'll appeal, as Lincoln said, to the better angels of our nature. I have long believed, to whom much is given, much will be required. My family and I have been blessed beyond measure with opportunities to serve this nation, and it'd be easy to stay on the sidelines. But that's not how I was raised. That's why today, before God and my family, I'm announcing I'm running for President of the United States.
All right, we'll stop it there. But it continues. So listen, Pence is also very dishonest, also would be a bad president. At least he wasn't willing to go along with Trump's attempt to do a coup. As friend of the show, Josiah has been saying a lot, should you give someone credit for not doing something horrific that they shouldn't do, as in overthrowing democracy? I tend to give credit to people even when they're doing something they should do, when it was very impactful for them to do the correct thing. So I have been giving Pence credit for that, even though it's the bare minimum if you're an elected leader in a democracy to not try to do a coup within that democracy. So I understand the criticism. But besides that, I mean, Pence went along with Trump every step of the way. He pretended to be, and he continues to say he's very guided by his religious principles, but when Trump violated all these different principles of his, he didn't speak out against it, and on it goes. And so his candidacy is both not one I would support on its merits, and also not even interesting because of how kind of just inherently boring he is. And so I'll definitely be following Chris Christie's much more closely. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.